Self-driving cars is creating a lot of frenzy within many industries to prepare us for this new trend in travel. But what about flying cars? George Jetson will be very happy to hear that we are on the verge of making flying cars a reality. This story and more in this episode of Whirlwind Radio. Hi there, welcome back to our show. I'm Marcelo Sugdeo. Way before the original airing of the Jetsons in 1962, we have dreamt of flying cars, video calls, robots, space travel, and 3D TVs. If we are to take stock today, we can see that we have achieved some and are making progress on the rest. Now, flying cars, which was a part of the norm in the Jetsons, are making the news today. But how close are we to getting into a real flying car? Well, it seems like we are closer than you may think. There are a few companies, including aircraft maker Airbus, who are competing to be the first to develop vehicles with wings that can take off or land vertically, which is in reality a smaller version of helicopters. Think about the enormous impact of these vehicles. Once they, of course, become a reality, they could change the way we travel dramatically due to their small size and flying capability. It probably would be easy to operate and control as well. But since we are accustomed to driving on flat, solid surfaces, handling a vehicle in the air would pose a great challenge to many of us. Just think about some of the driving we see around us today. Are we going to feel safe driving in a flying car? How should I put it? With distracted and risky drivers around us and even above us? What about the noise? How will we cope with cars flying past our windows at work or at home at full speed with their music blaring? There are many obstacles that must be overcome. Is it safe? Regulators will have to be convinced that these cars are safe indeed. Then there is the obstacle of how to handle thousands of new low-flying aircraft over cities without, of course, colliding with each other or crashing into buildings. And then, what about the batteries? How long will it last? And what will happen if it's out of power in the air? But even with all of these setbacks, some companies are still moving forward with the concept of developing flying cars. Of course, they see the potential market for such a product and can function as air taxis or even individuals owning their own flying cars, especially in huge cities where traffic jams are a normal everyday occurrence. Instead of parking on land, these cars can land and park on rooftops of office buildings, eliminating the traffic congestion to a large degree. A positive for manufacturers came from the FAA. In a statement, they said they are taking flexible, open-minded, and risk-based approach to flying cars. FAA officials have discussed with several manufacturers that for certification of an aircraft, it has to be flown with a pilot in the beginning and later converted to an autonomous passenger aircraft. Zach Lovering, who heads the Airbus project to develop a flying taxi called the Vahana, believes that this will become a reality in 10 years. Here's a quick soundbite from the Associated Press. Roll clip 1.
Stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. But imagine being able to get through the gridlock by flying over it. Once the stuff of science fiction, the technology has recently taken off. It's a long-ago dream of automakers. GM envisioned a sleek rocket-like flying car in the late 50s and 60s. Today, nearly a dozen companies large and small around the globe, including drone makers, are working on new aircraft capable of soaring over crowded roadways.
think it's going to be a flying car.
Chinese company Ehang is trying to figure out how to scale up its drones to safely transport people. Massachusetts-based Terrafugia is taking pre-orders for its plane that folds up into a street-legal car. While most companies are using batteries and electric motors, Israeli firm Urban Aeronautics is developing a small gas-powered aircraft using helicopter engines.
There's no question we can build a vehicle. I can build a vehicle tomorrow that will carry 2 people or 3 people for half an hour.
MIT professor John Hansman chairs the Federal Aviation Administration's Engineering Research Advisory Committee. He says it's not the aircraft, but issues such as air traffic control, safe landing areas, and even noise pollution that will be the biggest hurdles.
I actually think it's going to be the ground infrastructure that allows the vehicles to operate in the most useful places that's going to be important.
Passenger plane maker Airbus has a Silicon Valley subsidiary called A-Cubed that later this year plans to test an aircraft called Vahana. Airbus envisions the vehicle as an autonomous air taxi.
They would call the vehicle on a mobile app, go to the vehicle, and then once they've buckled up and agreed to the flight, then the vehicle is ready to take off. And in the meantime, in the background, the vehicle is clearing their flight path with the air traffic management system, and then it takes them from that landing pad to their destination.
Vahana sees the service becoming a reality in about 10 years. While that timetable may be lofty, with so many companies working on flying cars, it's no longer the stuff of dreams. Peter Banda, Associated Press, Las Vegas.
There you have it. In as little as 10 years, we can see flying cars, even self-driving flying cars, revolutionizing the way people travel. Now let's take a look at some of the flying cars already in design and in the testing phase. Vahana. Made by Airbus, Vahana is a vertical takeoff, landing, all-electric aircraft that is mounted on a sled with propellers in the front and back. Airbus plans to test a prototype before the end of 2017 and to have the first Vahanas ready for production by 2020. Cormorant. This is from the Israeli tech firm Urban Aeronautics, which takes off vertically and has a standard helicopter engine but no large rotor. It can fly between buildings and below power lines and attain speeds up to 115 miles per hour and stay in the air for an hour and carry up to 1,100 pounds. Hopefully it'll be prettier than the bird. No offense to those who love cormorants. Lilium Jet. This is from a German technology company called Lilium Aviation. And they're working on a 2-seater aircraft that will take off vertically using 36 electric fan engines along its wings. The company has been flight testing small-scale models, and this aircraft is estimated to have a cruising speed of up to 190 miles per hour and a range of 190 miles as well. Aeromobile 3.0. This is from the Slovakian company Aeromobile, and they have developed a car with wings that unfold for flight. It uses regular gasoline and fits into standard parking spaces. It can also take off from airports or any grass strip or paved surface just a few hundred meters long. Ehang 184. This is from Chinese drone maker Ehang, which has been flight testing a person-carrying drone in Nevada. The vehicle is a cockpit with 4 arms equipped with rotors. Takeoff and landing targets are pre-programmed, and this is done by a command station in China, which will monitor and control the aircraft anywhere in the world. S2. This is from Joby Aviation of Santa Cruz, California, and they have been developing a 2-seat all-electric plane with 12 tilt rotors arrayed along its wings and tail. The aircraft takes off and lands vertically and can achieve speeds up to 200 miles per hour. Transition FTX. This is from Terrafugia, which is a company that is based in Massachusetts. They began working a decade ago on a car folding wings that can fly or be driven on roads that's called transition. They plan to begin production in 2019. Volocopter. This two-seater electric multicopter is from the German company Volo. It has 18 rotors and looks like a cross between a helicopter and a drone. It is controlled from the ground and it eliminates the need for a pilot license. There you have it. Lots of flying vehicles in the development stage right now. Since I hopefully whet your appetite on flying cars, here is a story with the headline from TechCrunch. Forget flying cars. Passenger drones are the future. The writer of this piece makes the point that since Tesla, Google, Uber, and other autonomous car makers are within 3 to 5 years of commercializing self-driving cars that required no human oversight, then all the machine learning algorithms, sensors, and safety systems from self-driving cars will help to push passenger drones to become a reality. He argues that compared to cars, drones will face fewer obstacles in the sky and have far more options for evading accidents. The way these taxis or ride-sharing services will work is just like the Uber app. The passenger will book a drone, which will then fly to the pickup location to get the rider. It will then land and take off vertically and then fly to the destination. This passenger drone development is further along than we realize. The Chinese company Ehang, as I've highlighted in the first story, received clearance from Nevada in June 2016 to test the world's first passenger drone. The drone can fly at up to 11,500 feet at 63 miles per hour, but only for about 23 minutes. A rather short time, but still a good start, which will only continue to progress with time. Now, Uber believes that Uber Elevate, which is an on-demand air transportation service, will be here within a decade to request electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. This prediction from Uber will definitely push other drone makers like Amazon to get into the race of passenger drones. Even if we don't get the flying cars, it looks like we'll get the passenger drone. Hey Uber, send me my drone. Soon it appears that you can tap and go with your sunglasses. Well, not the sunglasses you have on right now, but ones with wave shades. Wave shades is a new contactless payment system built into sunglasses. This new venture was started with Australian startup company Inamo, the sunglasses maker Local Supply, and Visa. The prototype tap and go sunglasses are being rolled out ahead of Australia's Lane Music Festivals. So Australians don't have to worry about taking cards, cash, or their wallets with them to the festival. Local Supply has provided the sunglasses, and Imano has provided the secure NFC payment chip built into the arm of the glasses. But before you poke fun at the tap-and-go sunglasses, every time you pay for something, you can be like Horatio Kane, CSI Miami style. Or you may have an excuse to wear sunglasses at night. Keep an eye out, pun intended, on the tap-and-go sunglasses that may be coming our way. Well, thanks for joining me today on Whirlwind Radio. And remember, as always, to stay safe in the technology whirlwind. From the Whirlwind team, this is Marcelo Sugdeu saying bye for now.